Ready, set,
Gamecast.
Welcome to Ready, Set, Gamecast, a bi-weekly podcast about video games and a classic case of imposter syndrome. I'm Bryce, and I'm joined by the true Teddy Chinaris.
That's me. I'm a real human. Maybe. Some days.
Convincing.
I'm not an alien
Yes,
pretending to live
human.
in society. Smile.
And the truest Dexterity.
Yep. Same.
That sounds more human even already. That already sounds more human.
I've just acclimated better than you have, Teddy.
Yeah.
I will be honest, I have, there's something about my personality that I'm just, ask a lot of questions. I'm a very inquisitive person about things that no one should be inquisitive about. I will ask all the time, like, how does that make you feel? Why does that make you feel that way? Why are you thinking this? Why are you, and I swear, if I come to the end of my life and aliens show up and beam me up and are like, okay, your time studying the humans is over. What did you learn? I'd be like, makes sense.
Yes.
It's all been leading to this. Okay.
Okay, so that's why I am the way I am.
Now, how did you get this terrible case of amnesia?
That's very true. Straight up, I don't remember, I can't remember an example, but there have been many times where you've asked me a question, Bryce, and I've just been like, what? Why? Why are you asking me this?
Try being Aaron. There's many times I'll ask her the exact same question, but she'll be like, I've answered that before. I'm like, well, this is a different day. Is your thoughts different today? Things.
Oh no!
Are you consistent?
You're using the bathroom right now. Does this change your thoughts on this situation? That's not even the weird.
We're not gonna dwell on that.
Yeah. There's way weirder things about our relationship. But speaking of relationships, Darian, how has your relationship with video games been?
Oh wow, look at that. That's good. I like that one. That was good, Bryce.
Why do you hate my transitions, Darian?
Because my relationship with video games has kind of hit a rough patch.
Oh no, she's just very sad about that. It wasn't even the transition. She was just like, oh.
I'm sad. I'm sad because I just don't have any fucking time to play video games. And when I do, I'm just so just dead inside that I just don't enjoy any of my time with video games right now.
So relatable.
Yes. So what you're saying is it's the beginning of the year.
Yeah, I guess. So work has been fucking chaotic because we were kind of in limbo for the past 3 months because of weird staffing issues, and our boss went to run another store for a while, and we just got word that he's staying at that store, and the guy who was doing his job at our store is becoming our boss, and we're about to have just a bunch of transitions as far as scheduling goes and shit like that. And so I've been working 6-day weeks since October, and I'm going to continue working 6-day weeks as long as they will let me, just because I want the money. But everything else is suffering because of it.
You might eventually have to just be like, well, I can't do this. I need balance,
Well,
and
no, because
get back to that 5 days.
I am going to go back to the 5 days. I'm in the process of trying to make sure that I keep my manager shift where it is so that my schedule doesn't have to change. Other people's schedules can change, but I want mine to stay the same.
I thought you were no longer a manager.
I'm still a supervisor, so I manage one shift a week. So I get to pick my schedule because of that.
Ooh, fancy.
That sounds great.
So yeah.
Yeah, I was like, that's perfect.
Exactly.
Throwing your dick around a little bit, showing who's boss.
Flopping it on the table.
Yeah, actually, the guy. I'm not shy about my penis, you guys.
That's the only girl on the podcast.
Anybody wants to see it? Get him. You want to see my dick? I'll show you my dick.
You want to see my dick? No, I'm technically the longest consistent supervisor there. The guy who's now my boss is like somebody that I trained in and that I trained how to be a supervisor and stuff. And he's really chill. I like him as a boss. He's really good. And the guy that's coming back is also really chill and really kind and stuff. I'm really excited, but I hope that they work things out so that me and my best friend don't have to change our schedules. Which I think will work out. We kind of talked about it in the manager meeting, and it seemed like we might be able to make that work. It'll suck for other people, but I don't care about that.
Oh my God. Hey, at least you're honest, you know?
Well, we've got a guy that's on his way out, and so he'll be mildly inconvenienced for the short time that he stays with us, but like, whatever. Like, you're leaving, it's fine. And then another guy who's like kind of just like a temporary supervisor until we get appropriate staff to actually have a couple real supervisors. And he just kind of has to deal with whatever. And he's not excited about anything at all as far as supervising goes. So it doesn't really matter what we do. He's going to be dissatisfied. So.
Damn.
Anyway, I've been playing Dead by Daylight just a tad.
Just a little bit.
That's all this to say. I've played a couple games.
I've played some games. So since the last podcast, I've been craving just going through Skyrim. And I finally had time to do that the other day, but I only got to play a couple of hours because I have so many mods in that game. And apparently I haven't played Skyrim since a few times ago when I have had to reset my computer. Because when I opened it, I kept having UI issues. And it was because I didn't have the script extender from Steam downloaded. And so there's like a UI mod that I have that needs that script extender, and I didn't have it installed. So I spent like a solid 15 minutes trying to figure out what the fuck I did wrong. Like, what is going on? Why is my UI so broken? Like, nothing was being nothing had like the images that it was supposed to have. Like, I had weapons and armor and stuff, and none of it just had the right little icons next to it. And when you like drop something or mark it as your favorite, like it's on the bottom of the Skyrim UI, it says what button you need to push, but in place of what button it was supposed to be, it was just a bunch of question marks. And I was like, what am I supposed to hit to favorite this? What is going on? What do I need to do here? Like, I don't know what's happening. And then I figured it out and I played for a little while. And then my friend wanted to play, I think I switched right from Skyrim to like 2 games of ARAM in League, and then I went to bed. ARAM's great. It stands for all random, all mid, and you're given a champion at random. And most of the time you have like the reroll ability, so you can like get a different champion if you don't mesh well with this one. And most of the time that sucks for me because I have a really small champion pool. I'm really bad at it. So I'm always like, I hate this person. Oh, I hate this person too. Hey, you guys have some rerolls for me? I don't
give them all to me. Thanks.
I can't play these.
Oh my God.
Just keep rolling until Jinx comes up.
Pretty much. By the next time that we record, I will have the start of my Jinx tattoo on my arm.
Ooh.
It's exciting. And I have an avocado on my leg. Do you want to see it?
Currently?
You want to see my avocado? Avocado.
Oh,
Boom.
it's got arms and stuff.
It's really cute.
It's my avocado.
He's hanging out. He's chilling, dude.
also Pokeball socks.
Oh, yeah. I'm a nerd.
if you didn't know, welcome to the show.
I got matching avocado tattoo with my best friend.
I was wondering what the significance of an avocado is, but
yeah, we each have a half of an avocado. Yeah, it's really
Which
cute.
one has the little avocado ball?
She has the pit.
The pit. That's what it's called.
That we had a weird conversation about that in D&D, and they were like, "Oh, you took out his pit. You demasculated your avocado." And I was like, "Avocados don't have genders. My avocado is not missing anything."
I mean, avocados don't have arms and legs either, but now that one does.
Or faces. Or sentience.
That one, but
I like to believe that one does.
This avocado has a soul.
Yeah, dude. He looks like it. Or she? I don't know.
I don't know.
According to the Toy Story franchise, anything that you put a little squiggly arms on now has a soul.
Man. Good old
Anything
Forky.
you put a face on.
Yeah.
Comes alive when you're not looking.
Well, it's not clear what thing she had to add to it made it alive.
For the audio listeners, I just look back at my poster of Aang in the Avatar state. Like, fuck.
Well, I was thinking the
I've got a
giant.
bunch
Or the kind of funny pillow.
Yeah.
I was looking at the kind of funny pillow.
Yeah.
I've got just a pile of plushes over here. There's like a Togepi
They're
and a
all
Wheatley
coming for
and
you.
all sorts. And there's a cat bug over there. Those all come to life when I'm not in here.
And that box of dog treats.
The box of dog treats. That dog is alive.
He leaps out of the painting. Did y'all ever... This is so random. Did y'all ever read... It was a kid's book series. I think it was called Charlie Bone, something like that. And it was about this kid, and it was kind of a Harry Potter ripoff in some little ways. But they weren't like wizards. They was about these kids
really
that went to
to
this
bone.
school... No, maybe I don't know. Maybe that's in the later books. But it was about these kids that went to the school and they all had certain powers. But Charlie's was that he could like go into like paintings and pictures and whatnot. He like go into them and they were like it was this whole thing.
So is My Hero Academia.
Charlie Bone and the Shadow.
Kind of. Is that?
Charlie Bone and the Castle of Mirrors.
I do
Midnight
remember
for
that.
Charlie Bone.
Oh my god, dude, these covers are garbage.
Yeah, this is terrible.
The covers look so bad.
Charlie Bone and the Invisible Boy, and there's a fucking giant snake on the cover.
He has a giant neck in all of these. Why is his neck so long?
Okay.
Yo neck is ridiculous.
So is that all you've been playing, Darian?
Oh yeah, that's all my games.
Okay.
Why is Charlie Bone's neck so long? Okay.
Daenerys, what have you been playing?
I'm playing that game a lifetime, you know? I played a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order the other day. I opened some website that just started playing an ad or something, apparently. That was really loud and scared the crap out of me.
I could hear
it. I don't even... Oh my god, it was a website that I had open too, like it just started playing something. Charlie Bone betrayed me. I've been playing a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order. Oh man. Also been back on that Stardew Valley grind, which is so good. Stardew's so good. That game is incredible. How many hours do I have on Stardew now? I think it's like I think I'm up to 30 hours on my my Switch version, which is like I've played Stardew like the first 20 hours of Stardew Valley on PC, PS4, and now Switch. And now Switch I think officially is my longest running. No, I'm only at 28.
Be careful with the Switch.
28 hours. Why?
There's a glitch. I don't know if they fixed it, where if you leave it open and you just put your Switch in sleep mode, it'll count all of those hours.
Oh.
I went to
I think that was a
David's parents for Christmas like 2 years ago or something, and I played Stardew on the Switch, and we were there for like a week, and I somehow accumulated like 400 hours.
That was a thing with a different game on Switch. That was definitely a thing with a different game, and I think it was a thing with Stardew. I think you're right, but I think that is not a thing anymore. It hasn't done that with me.
I never worry about the hour count, so
I love the hour counts. If a game, especially if an RPG Oh, here's the one thing that triggers me the most about like little minutia in games. If an RPG doesn't have an hour count like on your save, but it does have like the time where it's like you saved at 1 something p.m. whatever. I hate that so much because I'm always like, oh, is that my hours? And then I'm like, no, it's time. And you only know that it's the time because usually it's in like for some weird reason in a 24-hour clock. So every like it's dumb.
I do prefer the hour count better because that way you know like, oh, this is my farthest in save.
Yeah, I love just being able to be like, oh, I played this for this many hours. Like, I like it.
Yeah,
it's a nice
I like
little
seeing that number.
thing.
There's just something appealing about that. I used to look up, there was a website that used to work for League called like Time Wasted on LOL.
Yeah, they're still wasted on Destiny.com.
Yeah, well, League, Riot broke the fucking UI that they were using to pull that information. So now I have no idea how many thousands of hours I've spent on League of Legends. But once upon a time, I knew.
I did it on League once. I think I literally did it on the show for League, and it was like 300 something. So I'm not even anywhere near at all.
I played like 5 games of Teamfight Tactics.
Oh, Teamfight Tactics is fun, man. It's a good time. Yeah, I've been playing Stardew Valley a little bit.
I got that. I played that a lot on PC when it first came out. And then I got that from my girlfriend because she's really looking forward to Animal Crossing. And I'm like, well, Stardew Valley is kind of like that. And she was just like, no, it does. It's not cute animals. It's not. I want Animal Crossing. And she did not want to play very much of it. But
boo.
They just
they fixed it.
But Nintendo just had a sale on digital stuff, and I got an email saying 2 of my games on my wish list were on sale. So one of which Stardew Valley, so I picked that up. Maybe with the multiplayer mode, I can convince her to get back.
I want to do that, dude. The other day when I was leaving, from work. I think it was like late Friday night, and I knew I had to come in early Saturday morning, and I was like, all I want to do is just go home, hop in with a buddy. I don't even know who, but like I don't have anybody to do this with because nobody would do this. But like I just want to go home and start a Stardew Valley farm with a friend and just blow off work tomorrow and just farm. Like that's all I want to do in life. Like that sounds great. But I committed to it on Switch instead of the other platforms because 1, I can take it anywhere. Like it's great, and it's also dope that like Stardew Valley's whole thing is that your progress only saves, or not whole. It has a lot of things, but one of its thing is like when the day ends is the only time that it saves. So like I like that I have it on Switch where like if I'm in the middle of the day and I have to stop, I can just like pause it and go sleep mode, and it's still there. So it's nice.
The only thing I don't like about the multiplayer mode on Stardew Valley is that I can't use the exploits that I use when I've stayed out far too late and I need to go to bed because time doesn't stop when you hit the pause menu when you're playing with multiple
time
people.
Doesn't stop when you go into the pause, which is a lot. It means you just have to like keep moving.
Yep. You have to pay way more attention to the time because if it's too late, you're just going to fuck right off.
Yeah, dude. It's true.
You got no chance to fix it.
It's still good though. I love
There's
that
also
game.
like a fishing exploit that I use that you can't use when you're in multiplayer. Like
what's that?
Because like if you go to your pause menu after you've cast a line, the fishing doesn't stop, but time stops, so you can spend more time fishing during the day.
I don't know if that's an exploit though. That's just kind of how the game works.
It's technically an exploit.
Is it? It pauses. The game is like it's made so that it pauses when you're in any sort of menu or whatever.
The game pauses, but the fishing doesn't.
Well, yeah.
So you're in the pause menu, and then you get the notification that you have a fish. You unpause and you pull the fish, so you freeze time.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an exploit. I use it because I like to level up my fishing to max as quickly as possible.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
dude. I'm on like level 8 fishing right now.
I don't know why. I just love fishing. It's just a really fast way to get gold, honestly.
Yeah, It is.
Freaking Darian takes like a game that's all about just like leaving
Just
your anxiety-filled life and just going to have a relaxing time in the country. And Darian's like, I need to be the best right away. Just fucking give me.
See, that is my problem with Stardew, and why I stopped when I originally started playing it on PC a while ago. Is that like it's supposed to be super calm, super lovely, and adorable, which it is, right? But there's also the time management system and the energy system. So I started getting super fucking OCD about it. Like I would wake up and be like, okay, 6 a.m. I got to get this done, right? Today I'm doing that. Like, and I literally kept a notepad where I'm like, okay, tomorrow I'm planning this, I'm doing that. And I was like, 100%. I was like, I got to track down this for somebody. Like it got to a point where I was like planning everything out and like stressing about my time. Like I would go to sleep at 2 a.m. every night because I just kept maximizing what I was doing.
Yep.
It was a problem.
But
now I've like calmed down enough to enjoy it more.
I love Stardew, but I can't just casually play it. I find as many exploits as I can reasonably do.
Yeah.
I would always just have like a few crops and just water them right away in the morning and head straight to the mines and just spend.
I'm on like floor 80, which is the furthest I've ever gotten in the mines.
Yeah.
I'll show you my farm though.
Holy shit.
Yeah, dude.
The mines are like chill. Like there's a cool of just kind of like fighting these easy
Doesn't
creatures.
Doesn't it go endlessly?
I don't know.
Like the one in the desert does.
There's a quest. See, I've never been to the desert and shit. Like, there's all sorts of like because like to get to the desert, you have to like repair the bus, right?
In town, capped.
What?
I don't remember.
I don't know. It might. That's why I'm asking. I have no idea. I've never gotten to 100, but I know that there's like a quest that's like get to the 100th floor.
I thought you just said you were on like 480.
No, he said 80.
You're on floor number 80. Okay.
Does it really only go to 100? That's sad.
No, it goes a little bit past 100, but the one in the desert, I'm pretty sure goes endlessly, and it's like
I didn't even know there were mines in the desert. That's so exciting!
Oh my God.
I didn't even know those
Am
existed.
I fucking spoiling Stardew Valley content
A little
for
bit, but
Teddy
that's fine.
You
It's
ruined
fine.
the game.
I've seen so many things of like, but that's why I love Stardew. Is that still literally like 3 years later, I will see a thing, and I'll be like, I've literally never been there. Like I didn't know that existed. I didn't. I played this game for 30 hours, and I did not know that that's a thing. So I know that there's all sorts of like secrets and whatnot.
My good friend Bryce got me the Stardew Valley guidebook for my birthday last year. Or 2 years ago?
I think like
2018, I think.
You were like super into Stardew, and then I'm like, oh, I'll get you the guidebook, and then you didn't play Stardew again for like months.
Yeah. Well, because I got sick right around the time you sent it to me, so I couldn't stream and stuff, and then I like lost track of what I was doing, and so I lost passion for Stardew. But I still play it whenever I travel and stuff. I play Stardew most on my Switch.
I have a tiny little farm though. It's not much right now, but like I don't know if I was gonna see if you can kind of make it out. I got like 3 little rows.
Fences and stuff too?
The little 4
Teddy.
That bit.
Take a screenshot of it, post it, and we'll drop it in.
Ooh, okay. Let's see.
Let's do this smart.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll do that. But yeah, there's like 4 little that have like 3 like plots of farming land, and in each one I have like 4 little sprinklers. They're not upgraded to like the refined sprinklers where it goes in each direction. It only goes up, down, left, and right.
And then you
but eventually, when I have all of them upgraded, I'll just wake up and it'll all be watered.
Yeah.
It'll be amazing. It's great. This is great. Love this game. My little farmer has a fedora now. Whew. Wow. He's looking like a big old dork. It's great.
It's finally Teddy Chineris.
It's the only hat there was, okay? It's cute. I like it.
Is that your gaming experiences lately?
Yeah. Yeah, so far.
Well, that brings it to me, the person who plays the most video games.
It didn't used to be like this, guys. I used to come in with 6 games, and Bryce was like, I played 1 VR game. Yeah. And I was like, what?
I have completed Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Jealous.
That game, okay. I've been playing PS4. there are so many issues. Like, I ran into so many glitches with the PS4. I will say some of them very beneficial to me. I actually, like, the first time they're like, hey, you can go anywhere. I'm like, ooh, let me go to this Dathomir planet. That seems cool. I went straight to Dathomir and just kept bashing my head against the enemies until I actually hit a point where they're like, you can't proceed until you know long jump. And then I was like, fine, I'll go back to the main quest. But there was one point where I was fighting like, these guys are way tougher than you're supposed to fight right away. But guy comes at me, like, he spawns in and he's coming at me and he's T-posed out. So I just got like a bunch of free shots at him before he broke loose of his T-pose. And I'm like,
he broke loose from his game engine prison.
Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? This game has glitches, but I'm okay with this one. This one's fine. The platforming I didn't love. There were times where it's like, ooh, this is kind of cool, but there's so many times I just was like, it felt unfair or struggling, and it seems like they kind of know that their platforming isn't perfect because they do have that instant respawn if you miss the jump. Yeah. And there'd be so many times that it was just like, this jump should be so simple, but I'm just a hair off or whatever. And the platforming gets easier once you have all your powers. And I would say the entire game feels best at the last bit where you have all your powers unlocked. And I'm going into these fight like, they're giving you way more enemies to fight at a time and stuff, but I felt like I could handle it. Like, I felt like, oh, I've got all these moves now. Like, I can do this to this guy and kind of push these guys and do all these like cool stuff. And then the game ended, and I was like, oh, I was just kind of coming into my own and stuff. And overall, like, the plot, there were some really cool things in there, but overall it was kind of meh. And I think,
really, I've heard very much the opposite, that the story is like super cool and that the ending's like awesome.
There's a cool thing about it, but like the actual like story, like, there's cool moments, but like when you think of the big picture, I'm not like, that's cool. And I think that's just due to the fact that it happens in the middle of Star Wars, so it can't really be any big thing. They can't save the galaxy or
no, I mean, that's not going to be a thing. No.
And even
I don't think it shouldn't. I don't think it would need to be something of that vast like proportion for it to be a great story.
They definitely do set up like there is, hey, what are we doing next at the end of the game, and I'm excited for that game more than I am this game, because the stuff they do, it sets up like the future seems cool, but the ending, I just came like, I had fun like pushing guys off ledges. That was real cool. I'd
see that's interesting. So far, I've really liked the story, and I like the gameplay too. But it's not. I'm not to your point though, where there's like a bunch of abilities. But like, so far, I've really liked the story. Sometimes more than the gameplay. Like, I just want to know what's going on with the main thing. Like, I was playing it like very 100% kind of like outlook, where I want to get all the collectibles and all that stuff. Like, that's how I was playing it. But now I'm like, I kind of want to just push forward and see the story.
Well, see, I was definitely that way. And then once I got the answers just didn't feel that interesting to me. Or like, yeah, there was a lot of stuff that was just like, okay. And I don't know.
I haven't heard that.
The girl companion, the chick that recruits you,
Seer.
Yeah, I just got weird vibes off her the entire game.
Really?
Yeah, like, both me and Aaron, because Aaron was watching the entire time, there was one line that she said that were like, that's weird. That's like, is okay.
What's that?
I
don't know.
I don't want to get into sport. I could tell you after the podcast, but it was weird stuff. Oh, yeah. Anyway, but it was fun. I'm hoping they get a Fallen Order 2 because I am excited to see how. I really hope if they'd make a Fallen Order 2, you don't lose your powers. I want to play the game with all the powers because that was my favorite part of the game, is having all my abilities, being able to, I mean, it made the platforming feel better that having a double jump so that if I'm just a hair off, it's not over. I have a little bit of wiggle room, and I have things to kind of help me in those areas, and just like I can fight several guys, and it's not me just constantly dodging. Oh, and like okay, there's the parry system where you'll take down their guard by parrying them, and there's many times that you basically have to do that to get them to open up enough, or like boss fights. There's most standard guys you're fine, but for like tougher enemies you need to parry them to kind of get them to open up enough to get some actual shots in. And my problem with that is that like the window on that can be so specific, and they'll have those unblockable hits, and so you're like, oh, I'll parry this. Oh wait, he just turned red, and I don't have enough time to dodge out of the way, and so I typically just want to like dodge and whenever they're going for the swing. And later in the game, there was an upgrade I could get that give you, when you pulled off, it was basically a parry, but with a dodge, where you had that same window, but instead of parrying, you dodged out of the way. They slow down, and the enemy slows, and also you get a little bit of your force power back. And I was like, finally, I'm getting rewarded for. It makes dodging seem like a good strategy. I'm not losing out by dodging these attacks. So that made the game feel so much more satisfying for me, because there's so many times that I went to parry an attack and suddenly it turned into an unblockable, and then I was just effed. So I was like, well, I should just be constantly dodging, but if I'm constantly dodging, then I'm never going to be able to get an opening. So finally unlocking that thing made it feel so much better. But I'm sure we'll hear more about what you think of the game as you progress.
Hopefully,
but
I don't know. The reason I hopped onto Stardew lately was like the other night I sat down and I had like actually time to play some video games. I was like, this is great. So I sat down and played a little bit of Jedi Fallen Order. Like I was wanting to make some progress in there, and I did. I played for like 2-3 hours, but at a certain point I was just kind of like not feeling it anymore. When I went and just kind of wanted to play something that was I was like, I want to play something that's just comfort food, something that I know I'm just going to hop in, have a good time with, and I hopped onto Stardew. So maybe that's how I'll play it. I'll just play it in a couple hour chunks, I feel like that's how I like that game. I don't know why. Like, I love the game. I don't know why I can't really binge it. I think it's maybe something with, like, the map design and whatnot. It's just, it's a lot of just getting around.
I hate that.
Which
that's
I think
thing.
I think that's fine, but I think that makes it harder for me. It's not like Uncharted where it's perfectly paced, where I can just like go through the story, So it just kind of at a certain point, like getting around gets a little tiring. So I'm like, all right.
Yeah, they will unlock like shortcuts as you do it, but like as you gain powers, you're now able to access an area farther, that you couldn't access again. So there's reason to revisit planets, but then I'll look at the map this area is unlocked now, but even a shortcut, I would have to go through this, go down this slide, go here, fight through these guys to just reach this door. I don't even know what's behind the door. Maybe it's just a new jacket. And 90% of the overshirt thing, ponchos?
The poncho?
Yeah, I did not like 90% of the ponchos.
See, I want to get all the collectibles really badly because I heard that when you go to Galaxy's Edge and you build your own lightsaber, apparently all of those parts are in the game. Yeah. So I really want to make this lightsaber right here for the video viewers. I want to make this hilt in Jedi Fallen Order really badly. So I need all of the parts.
Yeah, I hear that's a thing that they got all. I don't know which one came first. That they were like, hey, we're making this game, put these parts in Galaxy's Edge, or if Galaxy's Edge was like, hey, we've got these parts, you put them in the game.
That's a good question. So far, I have 0 of those parts, and it makes me very sad.
but it's definitely a cool thing that like someone who's played the game could make their lightsaber at Galaxy's Edge, or somebody who has a lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge could make it in the game.
Well, the problem is you could probably only go and you have to be knowledgeable about it. You can't just make the lightsaber in the game and then go and make it at Galaxy's Edge, because at Galaxy's Edge they only let you choose from a specific set. There are 4 sets that are like protection and defense, power and control. Like there's 4 different things, and they all have different styles, but you choose from that and then make from like that set. You like customize it. But you can't pick and choose from each one, whereas in the game you can pick and choose whatever.
But if you went multiple times, you went multiple times, you could probably grab different sets and
you could. If you
them.
went multiple times and made a power and control one, you could just come home and mod with the others. Yeah.
So there's probably ways you could make it work.
This is expensive. I'm like, I want to go again. I need another lightsaber.
Yeah. gotta make my one from the game, which is a combination of 4 different versions.
Oh no.
But after I finished Jedi Fallen Order, there was another story game I've been wanting to get into, which I picked up on the Epic Game Store sale. Control. It is. So I'm playing on PC this time. I learned my lesson.
Yeah.
And God, that game is so beautiful. Like, okay, it's got that, brutalistic architecture. But it like the world is so interesting and cool, and like the building is called the Oldest House, and like it both kind of has 2 versions of the rooms, because when you first enter an area, it'll be like corrupted by the baddie stuff, and then you can come in and like
the baddie stuff.
Yep, and you can come in and purify it, and then everything will kind of like clean up and stuff. But that game like drips in like mysteriousness and yet like intrigue and stuff. And what's so cool about it is it honestly, it is a great game to follow up with Fallen Order, because there's levels of it that are like, this kind of feels like a Jedi. Like I'm unlocking special powers and stuff. Like the melee attack has you, if you just hit it while like there's an enemy not staying there, you like kick up rock or kick up like the ground. You're like knocking stuff around, and you just feel powerful from the word go. And that's like, and you just get more powerful. And it's like, I love, that's what I'd like to see from Fallen Order 2 is like, start me at powerful and make me feel cooler. But yeah, Control just feels so cool. I'm very, very early in, but I'm so excited to see where that goes. And the whole world seems really interesting. There was one deal that like the first kind of puzzle that you do just kind of drops you, like you're in the oldest house, and then you pull this light switch, and now you're standing in this like old motel that's just like empty. And like it looks so beautiful because there's like no light coming in the oldest house. It's just kind of the light that's there from the lights. Everything's very kind of dark and mysterious as you're going through the corrupted areas. But this motel had like lights coming in through the windows, and it felt very like atmospheric. I could almost like, I could like feel the sun coming in from the windows. It just felt so cool. And then the puzzle, I will say that like for that first puzzle, read the sign next to it, because there was a level of like, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be doing. The sign next to it is just like, this motel follows the rule of 3. And I was like, what could that mean? But then once I had hit a thing twice, I was like, that's like, I hit it once, and then I was like walking back, I'm like, oh, there's nothing else I can interact with. Hey, let me just for funsies, I'll hit the button again. I was like, wait, that's the second time. 3 times. And then and And
you're like, I get it.
Yeah, so it's like, and if I think Aaron is the one who read that sign. I was like, oh, if I had missed that sign, I wouldn't have realized, hey, rule 3. But this whole thing's so cool.
For a while, before I knew much about Control, I really wanted to like stream it. And then the more I started hearing people talk about it, I'm like, oh no, I'm not streaming this game. Because it is apparently a lot of like reading. It's a lot of like, you are supposed to read the collectibles, because apparently the collectibles and the side stuff is like way more interesting than the main plot. Like the environmental storytelling in that game is apparently super good, which is cool. I just don't, that's not good for streaming a lot of the time.
They give you a lot of collectibles.
Yeah.
I was reading,
which is also why I've held off a little bit.
I was reading a couple of them as we were first getting them. But one, and I'm playing this for my girlfriend. For a lot of like these story games, I'll play it on the big screen and she'll like watch and she enjoys that. And I was reading the stuff as we got in, like, this is kind of boring. I'm gonna move on. But like audio log, like I love audio logs. Like, have someone read it to me. Just let me keep shooting the guys. Just let me read it to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything about that game just drips like presence and mystique, and I am so excited to see what happens. I will say, apparently both my computers, I'm playing on my laptop so I can hook it up to my TV, but I tried on my actual like desktop. Neither of them apparently support ray tracing. But
yeah, you have to have a certain graphics card for it.
Yeah, but the game still looks really, really good without ray tracing. So
yeah,
a game that I picked up on that Nintendo sale that I got to play just before the podcast because things were running late. Me and my girlfriend popped into Cat Quest 2, a cute little RPG, action RPG, where you can play it 2-player, and one player plays as a cat and the other player plays as a dog. And
what happened to Cat Quest 1?
Cat Quest 1 exists, but it's not co-op, and I want to play a fun, cute game with my girlfriend. So, player 1 is the cat, and once I realized that, I was like, swap me controllers. And then so I got to play as the dog. And it's simple, it's cute, and we're having a lot of fun with it. Like, you can play, like, you start with a melee weapon, like the cat has a sword and the dog has like a axe type deal. But then
melee?
Yeah, melee.
He said that a couple of times. It's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, I've been totally zoned out.
It's
Melee's
okay.
still not okay.
Melee.
No, it's fine. Some people say it. Some people say mana. Some people say mana. It's okay.
Mario.
Oh my god.
Nope, I'm out. Fuck this podcast. Fuck you.
But it's fun.
Mario.
So you after a bit they give you get to learn magic spells, and then you can actually get a ranged weapon that does magic damage. And we're very early on. We got our butt kicked quite a few times, but it also,
I love kicking butts.
It's an RPG. Like, we just are like, yeah, we'll go grind a little bit, and we played, I don't know, an hour of it, if that, and we've been having fun. So I'll update you guys as I have more to say about it. But the game that I've been playing a lot of lately is Pokémon Sword and Shield.
Still on that. Still just living your best life.
I've finished the game and but I still have the Pokédex to complete, and I got to a point where what's great, I've never gotten even close to completing my Pokédex before, but what's great about this version is that when you open up the Pokédex, like, the main thing will have a thing of like, hey, here's a list of like 3 or 4 Pokemon that you should go try and catch right now. Here's where they are. They're like grouped in this area, and just like, here's my recommendations. And that makes it feel so achievable, instead of going through the 400 Pokemon that are in the deal trying to figure out like, which one should I try and get. Here they just be like, here's a few, and here's where they are, and you just go get them. And and it gives you a nice satisfying like check. It goes, you got it, and checks it off the list for you. And then once you complete all 4 of them, they're like, good job. Here's some more ones to do. Right now there's 400 in the base game of Sword and Shield, and I am at like 350. So I'm close, but I'm also at the point where the game is no longer giving me those Pokemon. They're no longer, hey, go check these out.
Now it's gonna be really hard. Like the last 50 is gonna be
last
insane.
50. Like I mean, I have to get all the Shield exclusives. I've tasked my girlfriend. I printed off the ones that are Shield exclusive. I'm like, here's the ones you're looking for. Get me these.
Oh my god.
I mean, to be fair, I've already traded her a bunch of the Sword exclusives, so I've done my part.
It's just funny. I remember I was listening to a Destiny community podcast one day where the guy was like, "Yeah, I sat my kid in front. I was totally wanting him to get into Destiny, but rather I just kind of wanted him to run strikes for me so I'd get the loot." That's what this sounds like.
Nice, yeah. But yeah, so I'm just kind of trying to check those boxes. But right now, there's one freaking. Technically 3 Pokemon. It's an evolution chain. The top evolution is only available through a raid, and the bottom 2 are only available in a specific area in specific weather conditions, and even under those circumstances, there's only a 2% chance they will spawn. And so today the Pokemon should actually be there, and I must have spent 3 hours just checking every random encounter. Like, is this it? No, it's Diglett. What was it? Still Diglett. And it just, I have not got him, and I'm getting frustrated with it.
Are you still gonna keep trying?
Oh, of course. Like that's the thing. I'm so close. I'm so close.
Of course.
I mean, I think at a certain point I might just throw up on Twitter and be like, "Hey, did somebody have this so they can trade me?" Because that's the sad thing. Like, if someone can just trade me it, I can just breed as many of them as I want. But I just need to get one of them, and then you're good.
Is there a market for this? Like, are people on eBay being like, "I'll trade you this fucking Pokemon for this much money"? Because I feel like there would be.
Oh, there probably is. I know that there is. I was talking to some people who bought a bought a hacked Ditto so that they could get an increased chance of shinies. And I was like, okay.
Did it work or did it break their game?
No, it supposedly worked, but it's not. That's not how I would do it. They bought it on eBay for like $5, and I'm like, I'll just.
Yeah, see, I don't know. I just feel like there would be like. In Destiny, people literally sell like account recoveries is what it's called, but it's literally like, give me your account and I will grind for this weapon and I will get you this weapon, like for this amount of price. Like people do that, and it's not technically allowed, I don't think. But like in Pokemon, I feel like that'd be perfect. Like there would be literally people out there who'd be like, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" "Oh, I'm a Pokemon breeder."
Oh, I'm
I'm a Pokemon trainer. You know, I just get all the really rare ones and then I breed them and then I sell them to people who need it.
I know that's the thing in Pokemon Go, where there are people who will just be like,
that's crazy.
Oh, you need this, you need help with this raid. I'll just show up there and be there to help you do this raid. I was like, okay. But the reason I've been jumped back into Pokemon Sword and Shield is because the Pokemon Direct, this is the news section, by the way, this is my transition.
That's beautiful. My favorite one.
In the Pokemon Direct, they announced Pokemon Sword and Shield is getting 2 expansions. Now, technically, this is kind of 2 expansions in one. You will be buying like a bundle, which costs $30. And in it, you will be getting the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra, which are 2 new regions that you'll be unlocking with their own characters, their own story, and they will be bringing in new Pokemon as well as returning a whole lot of old Pokemon. I think it adds, both DLCs will add 200 more Pokemon to the Sword and Shield game. Getting it closer to the full Pokedex. I think the full Pokedex is like 700, so this will make it 600. But like honestly, I was never a person who was like, they took away all the Pokemon. Honestly, right now, as someone who's trying to finish up his Pokedex, I'm like, they put too many in.
Thank you.
They did it. I'll take out 50
Please
of them.
stop.
Yeah.
No, no
400's
more.
too much. Like, that's what was so crazy to me. Everybody freaking out about how, like, I mean, how many Pokemon would it have been with all of them?
700.
Like, 700 something? Like, you need 700? Like, that's
There's
a
definitely
lot, man.
a podcast where I bitched about not all of the Pokemon being
I
in the
do
game.
remember that.
And since then, I've played Pokemon Sword and Shield and hate how many Pokemon are in the fucking game.
It's a thing of, as
You just
someone
want the ones that you want.
yeah,
you know?
as someone who loves Bulbasaur, the fact that Bulbasaur got
Yeah.
left out, I'm like very sad. But
That's understandable.
Bulbasaur's back, and he's got a Gigantamax form.
Bulbasaur's back, everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Get hyped.
all the
Bulby's back. Good old
I'm pretty sure,
Bulby.
isn't Togepi already in it?
yeah,
Togepi's in here, right?
Yeah, I literally
Yeah.
just
I
caught
haven't
it.
found him yet.
I caught a Togetic the other day, or today actually.
Togetic?
Yeah, and so then
Togetic.
I'll
He's
breed.
not a bug, Bryce.
He could be, and then I'll breed for Togepi and the other ones. So yeah, he's in there, but so this is going to add in new Pokemon, both completely new Pokemon, new legendaries. Both there'll be a sword version and a shield version in the Isle of Armor, and then the Crown Tundra. So the Isle of Armor is kind of like, it seems like a Japanese themed island where supposedly you'll kind of be going through this training thing. And the Crown Tundra is a icy tundra where you're kind of being an explorer. Both of them are look very cool. They both have their own legendaries. The Isle of Armor has a Sword and Shield version. The Crown Tundra has one that both versions will be able to catch. The game will be adding in new gyms, new clothing, which I'm very excited about. They've already shown off some clothing, and so they had a thing where if you went to Walmart during a certain point and scanned a QR code, you could get a code for a new outfit in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I saw that and drove my ass down to Walmart in the middle of the night to go do this thing. And I didn't even like the outfit. I got the outfit and I was like, oh, I guess. But it's like, it was one more option to style my dude. And yeah, so it's going to offer new hairstyles too, new Pokemon, and kind of a new little story. And I'm very excited for everything that they're doing there. And both expansions will be available for both games, and they are in the same pack, but the Isle of Armor will be coming out earlier than the Crown Tundra does. I'm trying to see this the Polygon article I'm looking at doesn't seem to have the release dates. But I'm sure you can look that up.
Figure it out yourself.
But they opened the somebody else looked that up though while I tell people about the other thing they announced at the Pokemon
June
Direct.
2020
is the Isle of Armor. Yeah, I think the other one's
I don't know. I just typed in Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion release date.
Okay, I think that's Isle of Armor, and then the other one I think is fall. It just says fall.
Yeah.
Also, we just got information that Pokemon Home is coming in February. We don't have anything beyond that. Just it's coming next month. So get hyped. Which might be the way that I finish out my Pokedex. I might just be like, oh, got it from Pokemon Go. Bring it up. I did it. Good job, Bryce. Because frick this trying to find. I don't even remember the name of him. I hate him, and he's the worst. But they also announced a remake of a classic Pokemon game called Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. This time it's called Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX, which is I'm trying to think of what's the style of game that Diablo is?
What's it called? ARPG? Action RPG?
I'm thinking dungeon crawler.
Sure.
Yeah, that's
that.
I think that's the term I was looking for. Dungeon crawler. It's a dungeon crawler with a Pokemon theme. And they kind of did a storybook style art to it. I don't know if I love the art style. People have to check it out themselves. But what's cool is that they dropped a demo for it right away, so you can literally go download the game and play the first few missions and see if you like it yourself. So I very much recommend people do that. I played it, and honestly, like, it's not a game that I'm gonna love as much as Pokemon, but it's a game that I can see myself playing while I'm watching TV. It seems cute, and like, they hooked me with enough of the story that I'm like, what is going on here? Because you're a human that's been turned into a Pokemon, and at night you have mysterious dreams, and I'm curious what's going on. But I will be excited to learn more. But maybe I will be playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX on a new device. Chinaris.
Yeah. Maybe you'll be playing it on the new Switch model. That's yeah. I mean, I didn't have this as mine, but I can talk about it.
I fucked up.
Oh, maybe I'll be playing the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Rescue Team DX on a new device, Darian.
I tried to run with
like,
it.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm sorry it was delayed, but I tried to go.
There's a T next to it.
Xbox? Wow. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh my god. Okay.
That's funny.
So we got another story about Switch models coming out, right? So
this one's sexier and curvier than the last.
It's
this
curvier?
one has sexual appeal.
Does it? Oh my! I didn't know about this.
Nintendo is reportedly working on an updated Nintendo Switch model to be released sometime in 2020. They're supposed to start production at the end of the first quarter in 2020, which is sometime around March. So that they can be released mid-2020. Now, Nintendo America has said it has nothing to announce on this topic, so...
Which also is in a denial.
Right. So, but we haven't gotten any, not too much, any
so
detailed information, I guess, but...
The news or the rumor... is coming from a Taiwanese electronic newspaper called DigiTimes that says, hey, we found out about a new Nintendo Switch model and stuff. And then when people asked Nintendo, they were like, well, we didn't say anything. So
are you gonna trust DigiTimes? That's the real question here.
Yeah, because I want a new Switch model.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hit me with it.
What
DigiTimes.
What is?
I don't know if they have the power to make it happen, though.
If DigiTimes is correct, what can we expect from a new Nintendo Switch?
So, according to the DigiTimes report.
also,
can we all agree that the DigiTimes is the newspaper of Digimon World?
Oh, of course.
Yes.
I'm shocked that it probably... I wonder if it actually is. I mean, I'm sure it is.
Yikes. So this news came out of a game for the PlayStation 1.
Yeah. Digimon World 1 for PlayStation 1.
Oh.
Yikes.
Okay.
The Nintendo... Okay, DigiTimes said Nintendo intends to release the new Switch model with a magnesium alloy body and an update to the CPU. Toto, who is the CEO of game industry consultancy Kantan Games, that it's there's no doubt in his mind that Nintendo will launch a Switch Pro in 2020, and specifically after the summer holidays to counter the rollout of the PS5 and the next-gen Xbox later this year. And he suggested a retail price of $399 with 4K support, bigger cartridge sizes, and, of course, beefed-up components.
That's exciting.
So, yeah, if you are going, hey, I'm thinking about getting a new Nintendo Switch, they've got that extended battery life deal or stuff. Maybe if you're looking for a beefier device, maybe wait till fall.
Since none of this is confirmed, though.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that is, if you really want to Switch, go for it, because that is still a ways away. Yeah. Like, it's January. But, you know.
Yeah.
But get a Switch Lite. and then trade the light in.
Don't get a Switch Lite. Nobody get a Switch Lite.
There's a coworker that I work with, bet you never guessed that, who got a Switch Lite for Christmas, and it's super cool. It's very pretty.
So they've had it for about 3 weeks.
What's wrong? Yeah, and I'm just saying it looks cool.
My only hesitation with Switch Lites is that if they get the controller problem, what is it called? Drift?
Yeah.
Joy-Con drift? Yeah. You can't fix it because the Joy-Con is a part of the console.
Well,
then not get a Switch Lite.
I don't think that's like reported as a big thing though with the Switch Lite. The Joy-Cons aren't even. It's not even a Joy-Con.
But it's still an issue that it has.
Does it?
It's like, something that they didn't fix, and that still happens.
In a Lite? Have we heard that happening in a Lite? Because it's not even technically a Joy-Con. Like it's a different. It's just built into the thing.
Yeah, it's a problem with the buttons and stuff.
The problem with the Joy-Cons. I don't know. I have not heard anything about it being happening with the Lite. I'm sure it wouldn't surprise me if it was, but I didn't know.
I'm gonna change my recommendation. If you have a Switch and
buy a DS Lite.
If you have a Switch and are considering upgrading to the one with the extended battery life, maybe wait until this Pro version might come out. It's rumored to come out, because if fall comes around and we were wrong and it doesn't come out, then go buy the extended battery one. But
also don't take our word for it and then be like, you left me without a Switch for many months and I wanted to, but I trusted you.
Just buy a regular Switch.
So my recommendation
just fucking go buy a regular Switch.
My recommendation is maybe don't upgrade to the extended battery life if you already have a Switch. If you already have a Switch, maybe don't upgrade, wait. But if you don't have a Switch, then go buy a Switch right now.
Better yet, just keep buying, just every month buy a Switch. Get a Switch. Every single month.
Just keep buying
From
Switches.
here till the end of 2020, you will have 12 Nintendo Switches at least.
That sounds wonderful.
And yeah, it sounds like honestly one in every single room of any place you'll ever be.
I want to yell. I want to yell at Nintendo for a second.
Wow. Okay.
Don't
go off, King.
Don't do that.
Go off, dude.
Hello, Doug Bowser. I know you're listening. I know you do this. Come to my house. I want to talk to you. Okay.
Don't do it. That sounded like a threat.
Where are the official standalone Switch docks? They've been out of stock for a very long time.
Are they really? That's
you cannot
crazy.
find them anywhere.
That's so dumb.
And so my girlfriend, because I've wanted a Switch dock in every room for some time, because it's nice to be able to go, oh, I'm gonna play.
Yeah, you literally. That's what's so cool about the idea of like a Switch household is wherever there's a TV, you have a dock, and then you move it, you know what I mean? Like, that's dope.
Yeah, I've got one in the living room. I've got one in my office. I just need one in the bedroom. And I've been saying this for a long time. Oh, I want a Switch dock. So for Christmas, my girlfriend ended up getting me a used Switch dock from GameStop. Do you want to know how much it cost her?
Probably way too
It cost her
much.
$70, the cost of a brand new Switch dock. Because they're out of stock and GameStop is being real jerks about it.
So weird.
Except
if you buy a brand new one on Amazon, it's $184.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
Because Nintendo hasn't been putting them out. So you're thinking, okay, Bryce has a Switch dock in every room now. The Switch dock that we got used from GameStop, something was seriously jacked up about it because twice it shut off it just like killed the power to my Switch. At first I was like, oh, that's weird. Was it the power went out? Like, that's a weird thing to happen. The second time I'm like, that's going in the garbage. I'm never touching that thing because I mean, this was not a third party dock. This was the actual Nintendo one that somebody must have been real bad to, because I'm scared that it damaged my Switch. Yeah, so Nintendo put out official docks again. Here's a recommendation for people who are like me and hey, maybe don't buy it from a GameStop because there's maybe a reason that they sold it to GameStop, because maybe it's bad. But Nintendo does offer refurbished Switch docks on the Nintendo store. So if you really want a Switch dock, go that way. They're like $40 there. Don't buy them from GameStop where they'll charge you $70 for a used one. Get one that Nintendo has said, hey, we looked at it. It's not going to break your shit. And it's cheaper. So that's my recommendation. But I would prefer that they put out brand new Switch docks, make them available so I can just get one.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Yeah. That's so dumb.
And I don't know if they're just pushing the new Nintendo, like they're making the Switch docks and shoving them into the boxes. That's why they don't have any standalones, or what's going on. But I would very much like to buy a brand new Switch dock on its own. There have been points where I was like, do I just buy a new Switch so that I can just get a Switch dock? Because honestly, like, yeah, it's $200 to get a new Switch dock on Amazon. At that point, buy a new Switch.
Yeah, that's so weird.
Okay. Real quick, Awesome Games Done Quick just ended, and they managed to hit another fundraising record with $3.13 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. If you guys don't know, that is a event that happens twice a year. Well, Games Done Quick is. There's Awesome Games Done Quick in the winter and Summer Games Done Quick, obviously, in the summer. And they speedrun games. There was a lot of cool ones. I watched a Guitar Hero one, and the guy was playing the songs at 175% speed. It was insane. So that is cool, and it is awesome that they're using gaming to raise a lot of money for a good cause.
I bet you could say that it's awesome.
It is. Teddy Chinaris, is the future of Microsoft gaming awesome?
Yeah, dude. I think so, personally. But you know what's gonna be part of that future, right? Is basically over the next year, 2 years, so approximation, just an average around there. Here is a quote from Matt Booty, which is a real name, head of Microsoft's internal development teams at Xbox Game Studio. He said, as our content comes out over the next year, 2 years, all of our games, sort of like PC, will play up and down that family of devices. We want to make sure that if someone invests in Xbox between now and Series X, that they feel they made a good investment and that we're committed to them with content. So a lot of articles were going around being like, Xbox Series X isn't going to have any exclusives for the first year or whatever, which is like, I guess that's true, but like, what a cynical way to look at it. He's basically just saying, like, we're not going to cut off support for the original Xbox right away. Like, or for the Xbox One, like, we're not doing that. Which is honestly pretty standard. Like, PS3, when the PS4 came out, I wouldn't say stopped getting games until probably a year or 2 years later. Like, maybe even longer. Like, this is kind of standard console fare.
I mean, what they're saying is that every game will run on both. I think PlayStation has said that there are games that they're making that will only run on PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Which, I think neither one is wrong. They're both cool.
I get the idea with what they're doing here. They're trying to, like they said, they're trying to make sure that people who like just bought an Xbox One don't feel like, well, shit, now all of the new stuff I can't get. And we've heard a similar kind of philosophy from Xbox over the years as well, is that they want to have everything run over the family of consoles throughout the most part, which I was always kind of worried about. I remember hearing podcasts for a long time of people who I don't know if they fully got the idea of what Xbox is saying, or maybe this was what Xbox was saying, but it never really made sense to me. They always people on podcasts would be like, yeah, the future of Xbox is going to be like everything runs on the Xbox One and the Series X. It's going to be just like PC, like, and nothing is ever going to not come to the Xbox One. And I was like, hold on. That's not how technology works. Like, eventually somebody is going to, and people would always reference, like in PC gaming, like, this isn't a problem in PC. That's like, well, hold on. Like, in PC gaming, there is still things that are like, there are still games that are like, this is the minimum spec. Yeah. Like, they do cut off at a certain point. Like, people don't realize that.
Yeah, you can upgrade your PC, but there's, your PC has to keep in time with the games.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, oh, but everything just scales down so that almost every PC can play. And it's like, no, not every PC can play every game. Like, it doesn't work like that. Like, they do scale it so that lower end things can play, for sure, but not everything. Like, there will come a time when the Xbox One cannot run some future game. It's like what happened with eventually they cut off support for Destiny for PS3 and 360 because they wanted to up the vault space for people because people were complaining about it super hard. They needed more space, but like it's something that they couldn't do with limitations of previous hardware, so they cut it off, and the game got better for it. So. But yeah, it's cool. It's exciting.
I think this is a good step for Microsoft. I don't see how it hurts Xbox Series X. Like things will run better. It'll be the same game, but at better settings or run faster, less load times. You'll get the advantages of a new console, and Xbox One people won't be left behind.
I'm sure there are some kids that are probably not happy about it because they're probably going to be like, oh, why did I spend all this money on a console if I don't even have like exclusive games or whatever? It's like, well, then you don't have to. Like, you can save your money for the first year or two or whatever. That's fine.
Yeah, it's like...
I'm sure they don't care as long as you buy the game.
It's like Breath of the Wild was out both on the Switch and the Wii U, but playing on the Switch was way different than Wii U.
Well, not super different as somebody who came from the Wii U.
It seemed like there was some issues with the Wii U version.
There were, but it really wasn't that different, to be honest. Like, it definitely did run worse, but like not crazy worse. Like it was still fine.
Which I think will be the thing. Like the games will still run. They'll run better on the new one. Yeah, and so that seems good. I don't know why all of this news story basically gets framed as like it's not going to have exclusives, but I'm excited. But I'm also excited for our Patreon producers, people like Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas, who go to patreon.com/lastgeek to help support this show and get a shout out for the low price of $5 a month. You too can become a Patreon producer and get a shout out each and every episode of Race at Gamecast, like Aaron C. and Dragons Lucas. Thank you.
They got two shout outs.
Twice.
Oh, snap.
Thank you so much for supporting the show. Topic of discussion. What is the best cookie? Tachineris.
Just chocolate chip. Easy.
Dexterity.
No. Do you not like cookies? You don't like cookies?
I can't choose a favorite.
Oh. Well, oatmeal raisin.
All of them.
Oatmeal raisin is my favorite cookie.
Ew, no.
I like oatmeal without raisin.
I like oatmeal raisin.
Not about oatmeal. It's a weird texture thing.
I love oatmeal.
My mom's chocolate chip cookies are really good though, dog. I need to learn how to make them. I need to like get her exact recipe.
Darian, I heard there was questions and comments.
Is he correct in assuming?
Didn't you? I hate this.
I'm sorry.
The topic of discussion can't just be like a random question.
It could be.
That's something that I can put in the question and comments section.
But then this is a question for me. And I couldn't think, last few times it'd be like, what's your favorite beer? Or what's the best beer?
We can just like not do it. Like it doesn't have to be a part of the show. We spent half an hour talking about nothing at the beginning of the show. Why did we have to talk about cookies?
Darian,
cookies are important, man.
Darian, what's the questions and comments?
Do you want to be a part of the show? Go to readysetgamecast.com/submit to submit a question, comment, or your favorite
cookie.
I don't know why the first thing that popped into my head was banana. I was like, your favorite banana.
I think there are multiple kinds of banana.
Are there?
There's like the little, bananas. The chiquito.
Plantains?
Yeah, plantains.
Plantains are not bananas, but they look like bananas.
Types of bananas. Candidish banana, Pinjaranja, red banana, ladyfinger.
Did you mean Cavendish?
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Google. Did you mean
10? I'm reading 10 different types of banana. Blue Java banana, plantain, burro
we can talk
banana.
about different types of apples. My favorite
There
is
are
ambrosia.
definitely lots of different types of.
So what?
Types of
write in your favorite type of banana or favorite type of apple.
banana. Just write in your favorite
I was
type
gonna
of
say
banana,
Stardew
please.
Valley
Somebody.
love interest, but I guess
Abigail.
fucking apples are good too.
Abigail is also
The
my
answer
favorite.
is Abigail.
Yes.
For a long time, I was trying to decide between her and Leah, and I went with Abigail.
I feel like
Bessie.
if Darian was a Abigail, or if Darian was a love interest,
What was that?
if Darian was a Stardew Valley love interest, she would be Abigail.
I like to eat rocks.
Maybe. Purple hair.
Purple hair, video gamer, kind of emo.
Hold on, no. I got multicolored hair. First of all, I ain't no basic ass bitch with one color hair.
They can't render that many colors.
Also, she already exists, Bryce. I can't just be another person, Bryce.
You're right.
Sebastian is my favorite love interest. That's why I said Obassi, which is a quote from Black Butler. That's what another character calls him.
I was very
Just call him
confused
Bassie.
as to what that
It's
was.
very cute. It's like it's a weird, it's an unrequited love thing, and he just gives him all these dumb pet names, and Sebastian's just like, no, I feel like that's me.
Abigail is definitely my choice.
Do we get questions?
Yeah, Sarah asked Xbox. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh, is this like a loaded?
Sarah asked a paragraph. Hey, can you guys condense your questions so I don't have to pre-read them?
It's not that much.
It's not that. Just because it's
We
on a
only
page.
have one question.
There's
Why
5 lines.
Why does it matter?
It's on a page split. Just seems like it's the longest thing ever.
There's 5 lines to this question.
I'll make it
We've
smaller
had ones
text.
from Zyger that were like half
that'll
a page
make it harder to
before.
read. Don't do that, Bryce.
It's one
my
question.
Oh, good. It's still 4 lines. Oh my God. Sarah asked a question, but I can't physically read it, so we're not talking about it.
I could try and read it from this. I probably can. I put it on size 5 font.
I'm making it normal.
Xbox said their plan for the next 2 years is to have cross-generations games on Xbox One and Xbox Series X. Everyone threw a fit saying Xbox Series X has no exclusives. Now PlayStation is saying the same thing, and everyone is saying it's a smart business move and a genius play. My question is, the fuck?
Well, didn't you look this up earlier, Bryce?
Yeah,
you couldn't find anything where PlayStation was saying the same thing?
I saw an article that they said they are going to have, and I don't. Hold on, let me track down the article. But I mean, we said what we thought about the Xbox.
I think it is smart because Xbox is very obviously doing the thing they have been for a long time where they don't really fully care if you buy their console. They just want you to buy their games. So as long as you buy their games and buy their subscription, then they're kind of happy. So it doesn't matter to them if you're buying it on the first one or the second one. Eventually you'll get the second one if you're good enough, if you enjoy the games and you want to keep playing the games.
Well, so this is like for the next 2 years, which just tells me like the Xbox One isn't completely obsolete yet. And
No.
I mean, that's a thing that they kind of do anyway. Like between the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4, there was multiple games that were released on both for a long time, and that's always been a thing. I don't know why.
The only difference is just
now.
the only difference is just that it's going to be like all first party things that would be an exclusive. Like they're putting it on both. Like Halo Infinite's going to be on both, whereas that probably last gen would have been like an exclusive.
Yeah.
Whereas like Ubisoft games, those are going to be cross, that kind of thing. But this is just for everything.
Yeah,
which is
Xbox
fine.
is saying nothing will be exclusive to
which is fine.
the Xbox Series X.
I don't see a problem with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither do we. I don't. I mean, there's a case to be made because if you're making it for both, then you're not using the full power of the device. You're not if designing for the most powerful thing is going to allow you to do more than if you're designing for both. But so DualShockers has an article which headline reads, PS5 will reportedly have PS5 exclusive titles at launch. In a sigh of relief, as many PlayStation fans out there, it seems that the PlayStation 5 will indeed have exclusives. Following earlier news, the exact quote came by the way of an older episode of the Kotaku split screen, December 4th, 2019, in a discussion on some information heard about the next-gen consoles from insider sources. Who's the score? When discussing some of the launch lineup on PlayStation 5, Schreier mentioned that he has heard that multiple launch games will be on PS5 only. The quote is, "I've heard some of the PlayStation 5 launch titles. I won't say them yet because I'm probably going to do some report on the stuff in the future, but those will be PlayStation 5 only." So, okay. This article is kind of information passed along. It's not an official source or anything, but at no point was I thinking that PlayStation, and it's assumed that the new console will have exclusive unless said otherwise. So there was a point where I was going, oh, but I very much think that it's not a bad idea to put on for the first year. Yeah, don't abandon the PS4. If Destiny 3 comes out, I very much think it would be a good idea for them to put it on the PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
But as going forward, there will be a point where, hey, to make the best game, you're going to have to develop for only the new console. And I think both strategies have merit, and I don't think anybody's in the wrong. So, defuck yourself. I don't know.
Whoa! Oh my goodness!
Jesus,
no!
I don't
that's not
stand
the
by that
message we're
statement.
getting across here. No.
I'm saying this to.
He's saying like, what is your question?
No, I'm saying this to the people who have been rude to Xbox, not to Sarah. Sarah, you're a wise duck.
A wise duck.
Well, maybe don't say "da fuck yourself."
I don't know. It ended. It ended with.
I don't mean that to you, question asker, who posed the question in the first place. But
their question was "da fuck."
Jesus
What was my
Christ, Bryce?
My response was supposed to be what? Anyway,
I see what you were doing. But
this brings us to housekeeping.
Does it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a cleaner. Clean your fucking act up, Bryce. Careful what you say, man.
Wow.
There's a housekeeper. Clean you
what
up.
about a housekeeper?
Is it a Roomba?
It's a sexy maid coming over to Bryce's house.
Good. They need to clean my amiibos. They got all dusty. Go to lastgeek.com for links to the podcast on all your favorite podcast services, including iTunes, Spotify, and Stitcher, as well as a video version on youtube.com/lastgeek, where you can see a picture of Teddy Chinaris' Stardew Valley farm.
I need to send that.
If you like the show, please subscribe to us on your favorite podcast services, including Spotify, Stitcher, and all the other places. Rate us on your favorite podcast services, which you can do on iTunes and Stitcher, not on the other ones. You can thumbs up the video on YouTube. That probably helps. And review us on
Smash that like button.
Smash it. Hit the bell. Do all that cool shit. And review us on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us grow and become more powerful.
I was waiting for that for so long. I feel like you delayed that one.
I wasn't. I was just trying to hit each thing specifically, and then I was like, oh wait, we do a whole thing at the end. Other Last Geek stuff you should check out. There's a Who's Your Daddy Let's Play that's live, and I'm gonna give people a little look into the future. We're working on a project. Maybe it involves Dungeons and Dragons. It's gonna be cool. Stay tuned for that. It does involve Dungeons and Dragons. It does.
The most blatant
Maybe it
teaser
involves
you
Dungeons
could
and
ever
Dragons.
give.
Maybe it involves dancing naked in the forest. Who knows? Anything could happen.
One of the two.
Stay tuned for one of those things. Until then, where can people find you, Darian?
Jesus Christ. Twitter.com/dexterity, DEXTRIDEE. Also Twitch. I stream there, and I'm going to be playing a lot of Skyrim. Hi, cat.
I am sure
This cat is there.
I am sure there is someone out there who this is their favorite podcast.
If it is, please let me know.
Yikes.
Twitter.com/Teddy Chinaris. If somebody is out there is like, my favorite podcast every week is Ready, Set, Gamecast, just please let me know.
Please tell me.
I am super curious.
I'm seeking validation.
100%. There's no... In my head, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. So if there is, like, hit me up. I want to know.
I'd like to work with you.
Yeah, let's see what we're doing well, you know? Let's figure this out.
Any other places where they can absorb your content?
No.
Absorb it.
Yeah.
Like Fat Gum from My Hero Academia. He's great. He's a great character.
He's the pink ball guy? No?
No.
Is he new?
What?
Yeah. Pretty sure he's new.
Okay, I'm on episode 4 of the season 4.
Oh yeah. I just got caught up the other day, so I'm not gonna give you shit. Because I just got caught up. Like yesterday.
Everybody on Twitter was like, "Oh my god," and I'm like,
"Yeah,
what?
That's why I forced myself to watch the most recent episode, even though I was super tired. So I'm sure it was great, but I definitely kept dozing off, and I was like, "Wake up! Everybody says this episode's great."
I am so pissed off because I heard that Funimation stopped being on Verve because I was watching the stuff on Verve because they had a great deal where you get like Crunchyroll and all these different services for $10 a month. And they were like, we're partnered with Hulu now. And I was like, okay, well, I guess there's stuff on Hulu I want to check out. So I got a Hulu thing, and I was like, okay, I'll wait for the dubs to come to Hulu. And then the other day when everybody's like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I was like, when are the dubs coming? And I looked into it, and like, they're not. You have to get Funimation now. So it's like, fuck it. Now I have to go get this Funimation now. And now we're finally watching the stuff because now I know that exists, that it's out there.
Are dubs coming out incongruent with the subs?
I think it's simulcast.
Shocking.
Yeah,
wow.
I hear it's simulcast, which is dope.
Wow, that's cool.
And people talk shit about dubs, but the dubs for My Hero Academia are really good. Their voice
that's
actors
what I've
are good.
Heard. I honestly considered once I finished, like, before season 4 started, I considered, like, once I finished the first 3, I thought about just going back and watching it all again, but dubbed, because I watched a sub.
That's really good.
I was like, maybe I'll just rewatch it, but this time it'll be slightly different.
I was at a convention recently where the English voice actor for Deku was, and it was really cool that like I didn't interact with him, but I was near him when somebody asked him to say Plus Ultra, and I was like,
oh my God, that's great.
That's Deku. He's right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
See, that's the only thing I've heard. I've heard All Might's voice in English. I've heard most of the I've seen clips and stuff, and I've heard most of the characters' voices in English. But Deku's Japanese voice is so good that I couldn't. I don't know. I might do it one day.
I love his English voice. It sounds.
I'm gonna
perfect.
hit the stop record button.
Don't do it. We're still going.
Teddy, quickly. What's your Twitter, Twitch, anything? YouTube?
I was. Sure, twitter.com/Teddy Chinaris. I was gonna make a dumb joke where you were gonna be like, where can people find you? And I was just gonna do my thing where I normally say where I am in life. And twitch.tv/Teddy Chinaris, and Twitter, and MySpace, and Farmers Only, and Christian Mingle.
Real quick question, Teddy Chinaris. Do you want to be kind of funny's 2020 up and comer?
Possibly.
All right.
I'm not 100% on it yet.
Everybody's so
that's a whole thing.
Okay.
But
should I tell people to submit you for up and comer?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. I don't know. There's a whole thing where like it's the whole mental health thing that like I'm not sure if I'm ready to get back on that grind just yet, but I might be. Cause it's a grind, dog. It's a grind. You out there, you gotta be. I don't know. When I was like streaming and whatnot for like trying to fucking like do it as a career, I did it definitely in an unhealthy way, and I'm trying to build it back up in a more healthy way, but I'm not. Yeah, not 100%.
I definitely feel that way sometimes. Okay, real quick. My handles. I had to burp. My handles are. My handles are Last Geek on Twitter. Instagram's Last Geek Plays. Twitch is Last Geek Plays. Facebook.com/Last Geek. I just created the Facebook event for our the Last Geek Extra Life stream. It's gonna be dope. October 17th, 2020. Stay tuned. I got big stuff planned. And lastgeek.com and youtube.com/lastgeek for the video versions and the cool Let's Plays and all that great content. Thank you for listening to this, listening to where we talk about anime, where we talked about cookies.
Anime's so good, y'all.
All the great stuff. We appreciate you listening and hearing all the great stuff. And please, if this is your favorite podcast, please let us know.
Let me know.
But until then, we will see you in 2 weeks. Goodbye.
Goodbye.